All right, what is up, friends? Welcome to the review of the Skullcandy Hesh 2 Bluetooth wireless headphones.
Unboxing knife.
Right down from it.
Shout out to Nat. Yeah.
Just so you guys know, this is all based off of my own personal likes, dislikes, and just my own personal preference. I'm not going to go over any technical specs just because those are things that you can look up, on the back of the box online. Those are not necessarily things I necessarily will go over, except for the obvious ones that, maybe the ones that I personally liked. Now, one thing I did forget to mention in the initial unboxing was that right here is where the micro USB charge to charge these headphones goes. Okay, now I'm going to start off by saying that most of Skullcandy's headphones are made of plastic, and I find them pretty durable. Now, I know people that are reckless with everything they have. These probably wouldn't be for them. Just because, one, plastic, of course, it's going to be a little bit more fragile, but I'll be honest with you. I don't go lightly on these, but I don't go hard, I don't throw them around, I don't drop them, I don't step on them. So overall, these are really durable. And as you can see this, I'm stretching this all the way out. Anyway, so I really like it. The only thing that I do wish was a little bit different was I wish that there was separate buttons for skipping a song and reversing a song. So in this case, it's just your volume up and your volume down. But when you want to skip track ahead and forward, or forward and backwards, you press and hold for 3 seconds. You do the same thing when this is on. You turn it on. This is the power. You tap it once to pause or to play your songs. Of course, here's the 3.5 millimeter jack, and this is the cord that comes with it, a really nice threaded one, which I really like cords that are like this. But of course, the cord is only there for when I need it, and as you can see, I haven't even undone it yet from its original tie. So this is exactly how it came in the box. Now, I did prolong this review for the fact that I wasn't using them for 15 hours straight. Now, I thought about it and I said, you know what, I'm going to do the review regardless, because I'm not going to sit there for 15 hours and play these. It's just not going to happen. It's not realistic. But I opened them on Christmas Day. Okay. I used them until, let's see, I guess it would have been January 2nd, and they finally died January 2nd. And I was using them every single day, and for at least a couple hours a day. So I'll just say that is awesome. Now, I will state for you right now, these are my other Bluetooth headphones that I have. And these ones will only last me a couple days. But this lasts me a little over a week. So I say, to me, that's a big win and a big thumbs up there. As far as comfort, I think that they are pretty comfortable for what they are. Now, I am a person that has kind of big ears, so even though these are over ear, they do still sit on top of your ears a little bit. And if you're for prolonged listening, it does get a little bit uncomfortable, and I'm not gonna lie. But at the same time, you got to remember that I have a really big head, and what I'll do is right here I'll put a picture of me wearing them on my head, and you'll see that these get stretched out pretty far. So of course the pressure of them sitting against my ear is going to be a lot more than somebody that has a thinner head, if that makes sense. But overall, they're pretty darn comfortable, and I believe this cushion is a lot better, and I'll go over that in a little bit. So battery life is a plus. I'm loving it just for that fact. The Skullcandy the crisp, clear sound that I get from these. Now, I'm not one of those like music heads for headphones audio that is really specific about the highs and the lows. I just go off of what sounds good to me. And these sound really clean. I think where the bass is needed, it's not overly bassy, and the treble is high enough to where everything sounds crisp and clear. I mean, I feel the same way about these ones too, but at the same time, when it gets really bassy in certain areas of music or songs, these ones can become a little bit distorted. Whereas these ones sound cleaner because the bass is not overpowering, which I really like about that. It is really easy to pair too. Before you even pair it, all you do is you hold this on, and you'll hear it sounds like, and that means it's turning on, and it'll automatically enter into pairing mode. So as long as you have your iOS device or whatever, your computer, because I've connected it to my MacBook, I've connected it to my iPad and to my iPhone, all with no problem. And it's really easy. Just as long as you're in your Bluetooth settings and you turn this on, it's in pairing mode, it pops up, click it, bam, that's it. And I really like that. One thing I'm not crazy about, but it's not the end of the world to me, is that once you're connected, this volume control is the exact same volume control on your device. Now, this one is separate. So basically what I can do is I can turn the volume all the way up on my devices, and then I can just control it from here up and down. So this has a completely separate volume control than the actual device itself. Whereas this one, it goes directly off the device. One other thing that I don't necessarily like is that I've tried is that when putting the volume up and down, let's just say it's late at night, I want to listen to music, but the music itself is kind of loud, so I want to turn it low. Now, the one thing I noticed is that on the lowest setting, it's still relatively loud. Not incredibly loud, but it's still relatively loud. And it's usually volume, when it's on the 1 bar, it's completely muted, which doesn't make sense to me. You put it on the 2 bar and then it's on, and it's not 100% quiet. So that is one of the things that I don't like. But honestly, the only things that I'm not crazy about were not having the separate buttons, which again is not the end of the world. I actually prefer physical buttons than not having physical buttons. I was not crazy about the volume being on the lowest and it's still relatively loud. Not that you're going to do that all the time, but there may be those scenarios where you're right next to somebody that's sleeping, you want to listen to music, and the sound itself might be kind of loud, so you want to make it a little bit lower. It might be kind of hard, but to be honest with you, you can't really hear that much out of it. That's why it's not a deal breaker for me at all. The only thing that I wish they would have changed is making these more oval. But, you know, that's me and my personal preference. But overall, durability, I love them. The sound, I love it. The battery life, I love it. The physical buttons, I love it. The colors, just the style itself, except for, I do just wish that it was more oval here rather than circular. But I like this style because it's kind of an old school headphone type of style. And I absolutely love these colors. So I don't know, maybe that's just me, but I really like that. And then I normally go with black. All right, so that's pretty much it for my review. I hope that was informative enough for you guys as far as what your wants and dislikes or whatever the case may be. But me personally, these fit perfectly for me. I enjoy them. But now we're going to go into the comparison side of the video. So we'll start off with the Hesh 2s. So I have the black Hesh 2s, the regular ones. Now if you see, you'll notice that the cushioning is different. This cushioning, you'll see how much give there is here. And then I'll show you here, and there's not as much. So as far as the cushion goes compared to the Hesh 2s by themselves, I believe that these ones have way better cushioning. And as far as the rest of the build, it's actually exactly the same. The same locking mechanisms for extending the length, same top part, same durability. It's exactly the same. Obviously just not wireless, and this was, of course, the cord. I just pulled it out. But I love these too. But I'm gonna be honest with you, These sounded pretty good, but I actually think that these sounded more crisp. And that's over Bluetooth. These are always corded, so the sound is good. But usually when you have the difference between the wire and Bluetooth, usually the wire always sounds a little bit better. But in comparison to these two models, I actually believe that through Bluetooth, these sound better than these do wired. So that's a huge plus. But now, these are probably going to go to my son so that he can use some Skullcandies for when he's listening to his stuff. And that's pretty much it as far as the comparison. Obviously, you don't have to charge it. Obviously, it's not Bluetooth. These are black. But overall, the styles are very similar. You could tell, obviously, they had to change some stuff because of the Bluetooth radio and the physical buttons and, of course, the battery itself. But overall, they look very similar. And I'll just put them side to side so you guys can kind of tell. They are very similar. All right. And then next is these. And to be honest with you, Rhythms, I've never heard of this brand on the mainstream. I actually found these on eBay, and I've actually really loved these, and I loved that these fold up. That's the one thing about the Heshes. Oh, that's another thing about the Heshes, I should say, that I dislike, is that they don't fold up. But, you know, again, not the end of the world. But I did like that these fold up. And these are a metal hinge, but honestly, I feel more scared for these breaking than with these. And maybe it's because it bends. I don't know. Now, for these ones, I believe they only have a 5 or 6 hour battery life. So in comparison to everything else I was using, this was a godsend. And I got these for, I want to say, $70 online. And the other nice thing was they were just really sleek. Really, really sleek. You can see right there is a 3.5 millimeter, and right here is the charging port, micro USB. The thing is that it was touch based. So right here on this side, the right side, you'd swipe down for volume down, swipe up for volume up, forward to skip track, and backward to reverse track. Now, that was all good in theory, but I'm going to be honest with you now, they barely ever work. I'm lucky when it does work for the touch panel. So that was a huge downside because I had to mess with it to try to turn the volume all the way up so that I would just control it from whatever my device was. And luckily I was able to get it to work, but it was like I had to do it from right here from the corner. It was really sensitive, so that really sucked. The one thing that I love about these though is that it's oval. And for my ears, these fit over my ear and they fit more comfortably for longer periods of time. So that is one plus. But at the same time, these are pretty comfortable too. I don't really know how to say it otherwise, but having the oval, it makes it easier for me. I used to own the first version of the Skullcandy, the Skull Crushers. They're now called the Crushers, and it's a different design. But they actually had the oval, and they were a lot more comfortable than the Hesh 2s were. But anyway, like I said, since they added more cushion on these ones, it's a lot more comfortable than the regular Hesh 2s were. But yeah, I mean, I'm really enjoying these. And as you can see, these are, two different. Obviously, these aren't Skullcandies. These are. But in comparison, I like the Hesh 2 Bluetooth wireless better than the Hesh 2s, and I like them better than my Rhythms Bluetooth headphones for many different reasons. For one, having the physical buttons. That is why I said physical buttons were really important to me. And two, the battery life is incredible. So, again, I don't really know what else to say in this other than for my own personal perspective and how I enjoy these. I recommend that if you're rough on anything, these may not be for you. Granted, you can still be rough with these, but I notice that the people that complain the most are the ones that are usually that are rough on everything that they own. And For anyone that doesn't care about very, very specific details as far as the highs and the lows and all that kind of stuff, because there are some people I've seen review these that don't like them. They think the sound is horrible or they think the build is horrible. But me personally, I think they're a great build. I think they're very durable, and I think the sound is great for me. So it's really about personal preference. And if this review doesn't help, then you could always go into the store and test the models and see which ones you like better. But I'm going to be honest with you, I love these. I am going to retire these. I'll probably give these to a friend. And my Hesh 2s I'll probably give to my son, just so he has a good pair of headphones. And yeah, I mean, overall, I am 100% happy with these, and I would recommend these to my friends. I have plenty of friends that are Skullcandy fans as well. So, of course, I will be giving them, you know, a reference for any Bluetooth headphones they want. Because I'll be honest with you, I said this in the unboxing, I've been waiting a very long time for Skullcandy to come out with Bluetooth headphones. And they're reasonably priced. They're $100. What else can you say? They're $100, and most of the Bluetooth headphones that you're going to get of a name brand are going to be anywhere from $150 to $250. Now, I originally looked into getting the Beats by Dre, and I would not spend my money on them because they were $250, and they weren't even over ear; they were on ear. And of course the battery life was, I think, only like 5 or 6 hours. So, but by the way, I would prefer Skullcandy over Beats, because I think Beats are overly priced and overrated, but that again is my personal point of view. But anyway, if you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to share it, and leave comments. If you have any other questions that I didn't answer in this video, please leave them in the comment section below, and I will be glad to answer them for you. But until the next unboxing and review, I will see you guys later. Enjoy your day, and Happy New Year to everybody. Peace.
I fell deep in the dark, I lost my spark. Such a young age and such a rough start. On your mark, set, go. I tried to explode, I tried to let go and break the damn mold. I was told I would never be great, right out of the gate. Failure was to be my fate, that's all they say. And I could lay down and accept that, but that had to jump back on track.